today I'm going to weld this corner on. But before I can do that, I need to get it all prepped by putting some rust inhibitor, or whatever they call it. It's a converter. This is the product of choice, Skyco. It's an OSPRO, repairs rusted surfaces for painting. So I'm going to put it in a bottle and spray it on. Okay, I've got it all sprayed down. Just waiting for it to do its magic with converting the metal, and then I'll get some primer on it, some weld through primer, and then we'll get this thing put on. While we wait, I want to go ahead and share some video that my friend JT sent me. He's back working on the thing. I showed you the video of the pan getting done with Raptor liner. Now he's putting in a custom pedal assembly and working on his extended trailing arms, and he sent me a little video clip to share with you guys, so I'm going to throw it in right here. When that's over, we'll get back to welding.
I got the pedal working. It is functional, it is sturdy, it is tight. Everything has good clearance through it, good movement back and forth. I'll kind of show you what I did here. If you see how this was, I ended up doing a lot of chopping. Drilled through, installed a bolt. I might have an extra hole in there. Hopefully the video's not good enough to show, and then I'll just deny. Everything is sliding good. I'm about mid pedal, good contact. So I am pretty happy with the whole setup, but still have to do adjusters on the beam. I have some parts on the way for my bushings. I want to thank Pacific Customs for all the help with those. Their bushings here are not stock. You have to purchase theirs to fit, but I got those coming on the way. They gave me some insight that these are actual left or right. If you guys end up purchasing these heavy duty 1 inch longer, these are not like 3x3s or anything like that. They're just 1 inch longer. I plan on jacking the suspension up a little bit, and I did not want the tire to start creeping towards the front of the fender. So that's my reasoning by getting these. That, and I don't really have to mess with cleaning up the old stock ones. I'll probably be robbing shock mounts and emergency brake cable mounts and things of that nature once I get it set and get an understanding of where I'll need everything. So that's it for tonight. It is 11 p.m. I put in a good solid 8 hours at work. Stopped by Rose City and saw my master builder, Andy, doing some touching up on his Baja, and I just couldn't help myself to come home and get some work done to the thing. So I'm eager to get this thing back on the road. Thanks for hanging out. Hope the video wasn't too boring, and maybe Bill can add it to one of his that he's got going on. Thanks guys, thanks for hanging out with me.
All right guys, now that I've got that all sprayed out and it's drying, the next step for me is I'm going to go ahead and use some rust inhibiting Rust-Oleum, and I'm going to paint it up in there before I weld it. I'm not going to paint the edges where it'll be welded. I have some actual weld through primer that I'm going to put in those locations, so that's the next step. Got the old Rust-Oleum on there. Time to let it dry, and then we'll finish our fitting, get this panel welded on. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but any protection I can put in there, I think that it'd be better off. I mean, it's going to help. Well, after fitting it for a while, I feel pretty good about that seam. Got the best I can get it. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's pretty clean. This other panel here, yellow, though, is covered with Bondo, so I got a lot to do. This is fairly close to. I think I can make that work. Down here, I may have to throw a coat hanger in there. But I did break out the spot welder. Check that out. Boom, boom, spot welds. So that's fantastic. That's going to work out great. Now I have to get in. I didn't know, but inside there where I got all those clamps, I have to go in there and clean all that paint off of there so I can spot weld all that all the way down too. Going back at it again. It's time to get this seam welded up. Good as it gets. I'm going to have a little bit of blow through right there. I'm going to have to maybe use like some filler on it, of course, but it's not too bad for my first attempt to weld a panel in like that. So now I just need to get inside and pinch weld this one on the inside. So yeah, I'm gonna take a break and then I'll crawl up in there and get to it. All right guys, the next things I got to do is I need to get that seam all done up. Get that seam all pinch welded. I'm uncertain because I only used the pinch welder one time, but I think I might have to take all that paint off there, so that's what I'm gonna start with. All right guys, this thing is freaking heavy, but that's how it works there. You get it clamped on, squeeze it down, and usually count to 4 or 5 seconds. All right, spot welded. Now let me do that about 15 more times. I'm gonna put some sandable primer on there, and then start with the body filler to kind of fill that in a little bit. See how that goes. I just sprayed the whole thing with sandable primer, kind of taped off the edges, put some filler on, and we'll let this dry, and then block it back down, and then shoot a couple more times with paint. And that'll be it for right now, because it'll be a long time for this thing to painted, but at least it has something to protect that metal. Take shape now. I'm starting to get it flattened out, building up a little bit of the height and stuff, but yeah, it's turning out pretty good. Just gonna keep on trying. That's it. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's not perfect, but for right now it's gonna work. Now it's time to get on to the next corner. But I'm pretty proud of that. I mean, I'm not really a body man. Anyway, guys, well, replaced my first panel. Now I'm on to the other side, and you guys go work on your old Volkswagens, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out.